Good afternoon and welcome to the You Name It, We Say It podcast radio show. Coming to you from sunny Boca Raton, Florida, as we will do 52 times a year, and maybe if you're lucky, a few extra here and there. I'm Ryan alongside my co-hosts Aaron, Joe, and Pat. We all want to wish you a happy Passover and Easter. We're glad you're spending part of your holiday weekend with us. Stick with us to hear the heated debates and engaging conversations of the many events that affect our world. We're your number one trusted source for sports, entertainment, and business news. Let's get started. We're going to go around and introduce ourselves, and then we will get the show on the road.
Hey there, everyone. I'm Joe. I'm originally from the Big Apple in New York City. I moved down to sunny South Florida in 2012. Graduated from Indian River State College in Dental Technology. And now I'm here making a podcast with my buds, and I'm glad you're all taking the time to listen. Get ready for many laughs.
Hey everyone, Aaron here. I'm originally from Rhode Island, and I've lived in New York for a number of years as well. I'm currently retired at 21 here in South Florida, and I couldn't be happier. I'm working towards my A&P mechanic certification, and I'm ready to start this podcast with these three great guys.
I'm Ryan. I am born and raised here in Boca Raton, Florida. I spent my undergrad at the University of South Florida, go Bulls, and now I am a graduate student at Nova Southeastern University.
Patty Boy over here from Baltimore originally. Grew up there, moved down about 5 years ago. Have a little boy, and hopefully I can give some elderly perspective to this group.
So we'll get the show started now. Something going on in the sports world right now is the Final Four that tips off this weekend in the championship game Monday night. We have Villanova and Kansas and Michigan and the Cinderella story Loyola of Chicago. What are you guys looking forward to with the Final Four, and how do you see it playing out?
Well, I see Villanova beating Kansas today, Saturday. I see Villanova beating Kansas, Loyola Chicago getting the boot by Michigan, and Villanova and Michigan in the finals.
Who do you have winning it?
Oh, Villanova.
So you're sticking with the top team, Villanova?
You have to at this point, I think. You're going up against Loyola Chicago is an 11 seed. Michigan was a 5.
Or something like that, 3 or 5, 4.
And, I mean, Kansas is the only other contender, but when you look at it points for points, I mean, Villanova has just been outscoring them as far as three-point field goals. They've been actually outscoring themselves in this tournament compared to the season. As far as three-pointers go, the percentage, we're looking at 51.3% in the tournament, 46.6% during the season. That's a 5% increase just in the tournament here.
Yeah.
Really shows what they've been doing.
And Villanova, led by juniors Jalen Brunson and Mikal Bridges, who have really led the way all season to their 34-4 regular season record and finishing second in the Big East. They always have a good team, and here they are again in the Final Four. Pat, how do you see that game go between Villanova and Kansas playing out?
I'll give you 3 scores. Villanova beat Alabama by 23. They beat West Virginia by 12. It was a pretty close 12-point win. And they beat Texas Tech by 12, but they were down by 7 or 8 points in the second half in that game, I think. Villanova, when they make shots, they win. When they make shots, they win. They play decent defense. They have great guard play. They seem to be able to handle the pressure of the moment really well. I think they beat Kansas. I don't think Kansas is all that good. I think this kid Newman had a hot game against Duke. If Duke makes a hook shot from 3 feet away from the rim in the last minute of the game, they're up by 5, and Kansas doesn't win that game. So I think Kansas isn't nearly as good as their seed would indicate. And I think in the other side, the other game, I think Michigan will win. I think Loyola Chicago will keep it close. Unfortunately, that's the early game. They usually make the more interesting, I feel like, games the early game.
For sure.
And I think on Monday night, I think Villanova won the championship again. And I really honestly think this is going to be the opportunity you're going to see going forward. A program like a Louisville at some point, or a program in the ACC, or a program in the Pac-12. I think may one day make a run at a guy like a Jay Wright. I don't think he'll stay there forever.
Speaking of Jay Wright, what do you think about this coaching matchup in the Villanova-Kansas game? Jay Wright versus Bill Self. Bill Self seems to get all the national recognition. I believe he's a future Hall of Fame or may already be in the Hall of Fame. Great coach, but I feel like Jay Wright is very underrated, doesn't get the respect he deserves. He is a national champion as well, and very well could be a two-time national champion after this weekend. So I'm just interested to see how the coaching matchup takes place between these two great coaches.
He's the best dressed coach in the Final Four.
Yeah, now that Leonard Hamilton is
the two of them are the best dressed coaches in college basketball. But I think Jay Wright does suffer a little bit. I think he suffers because he comes from a not national program. Kansas is a national program. Kentucky is a national program. Duke is in Michigan State. Those are national programs. So as much as Villanova is a nationally known name, it really is a small Philly school. So, but I think the best coach of the four isn't one of the two of them. I think it's Beilein.
Beilein is so underrated. Nobody talks about him. He's 32-7 this year. He won the Big Ten tournament. They still haven't lost since the end of the regular season.
No.
They've been so hot. They keep on winning. Led by Moritz Wagner, Charles Matthews, and I'm going to try to pronounce his name, Muhammad Ali Abdur-Rahman.
That's exactly how you say it.
I mean, these guys just keep pushing and chugging along, and they may win the whole thing. I'd love to see a matchup against Villanova. And, Joe, what do you think about Loyola Chicago, led by Porter Moses in the Missouri Valley Conference? Obviously led by Sister Jean, the spirit animal of the team. But do you think they have any chance tonight against Michigan?
Honestly, I think Michigan's going to take it. I don't think Sister Jean is going to be winning this game. I think Michigan has a better team overall, even with their record 32-7. I don't see Chicago and Sister Jean taking it this time.
Did you guys see the story with Jalen Rose, who played for Michigan? His grandmother or maybe it was his mother. I think it was his grandmother, posting a video, sending like a little jab at Sister Jean, saying she's like the greatest old woman and Michigan's going to take down Loyola Chicago. It's a really funny video if you haven't seen it.
Nothing's better than old people fight.
Oh, yeah. We live in Boca Raton. We see it all the time.
It's an everyday thing that happens around here.
I have to add, if Chicago wins, then that's going to be like Sister Jean's fountain of youth. She's going to live another 15, 20 years.
Hey, good for her. If you could live to
She's
that
already
age.
98. She keeps chugging. That's more than good for her.
She'll be living to 120.
I will bet you. I bet all of you. If Loyola Chicago wins tonight, they win on Monday.
I'm pulling for her.
If they
For
win
sure.
tonight, they win on Monday. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If you're able to defeat a team like Michigan, as well as Michigan has played since the middle of February, if you beat them, because Michigan's also handled their teams rather well too. Now, the one thing I'll say that should open your eyes a little bit to Loyola Chicago, even though it's Kansas State, they blew Kansas State out of the gym on Saturday.
So they can play.
They had one close games. They beat Miami by 3 at the buzzer. I forgot who they beat in the second round. It was Tennessee at the end of the game, and then they had a tight game in the Sweet 16. I think they could be really, really good. I think this kid Custer, the guard for them.
Custer and Ingram, those are their two main guys.
Custer's a beast. Custer handles the ball. He kind of reminds me a little bit of not such a ghetto version of Jason Williams. I think really he could be the difference for Loyola Chicago if they're able to win.
And if they do win the national championship, it will be their first since 1963, so it'll be a pretty fun time in Chicago. Another thing that's going on, not in Chicago, but I'm sure the fans out in Wrigley Field and in U.S. Cellular Field are pretty pumped for baseball season, just as we are. Opening day has come and gone, and we are on to the opening weekend. What are your storylines for the Major League Baseball season, and how do you see it playing out?
Well, for me, I'm from Rhode Island, so I got to go with the hometown pride, go Boston. But I mean, someone to look out for this year is got to be Colorado. Colorado, they went to the wild card last year versus Arizona, I think it was. But one of the biggest guys that I'm looking at on that team is Tyler Anderson. Starting pitcher, pitched 2016, 2017. I think he only has 100. What was it? 200 innings pitched, 100 each year. But I got some stats here. First pitch strike, he's gone up 1% over the past year. if he keeps going up, even if it's by 1%, that's still in the world of baseball. Even 1% is a great leap. And then swinging strikes, he's actually going up by 1.1%, from 11.4% to 12.5. So, I mean, if these statistics really show that he's going towards a good swing, I mean, I see good things happening, not just with him, but the whole team.
Yeah, I think the Red Sox, after signing J.D. Martinez, will be very competitive with the Yankees, who brought in Giancarlo Stanton, will go alongside Aaron Judge and new skipper Aaron Boone. Joe over here is a Yankees fan. How do you see the Yankees doing this year?
I think the Yankees are going to be playing very well this year, just going to be honest, especially with their new players on board. I do want to bring up the Marlins' most recent game against the Chicago.
Yes, last night. I am a Marlins fan, so I was up till about 12:30.
That was a game? I thought that was a few. That wasn't a doubleheader?
No, it was one game. 17 innings. The Marlins pulled it off. Miguel Rojas hit the walk-off double to win the game. Maybe it was a single. But
and Chicago won the day before, correct?
Chicago won on opening day. The Marlins not supposed to be a very good team this year, but you never know. Maybe they'll surprise some people, led by new owner Derek Jeter. Do you guys have any great opening day stories? It's a pretty exciting day for everybody. So.
Well, I don't want to be the weatherman of the group, but I happen just to run through here real fast. I'm going to give you a couple temperatures, and it'll lead into probably the best opening day story I can think of. In Boston on Monday, snowing 43. On Saturday, snowing 38. New York, snow on Monday, snow on Saturday. In Pittsburgh, in Baltimore, snow next Monday, snow next Saturday, and possibly snow into the following Monday.
Aren't we in April?
I'll get there in a second. Saturday and Monday, snow in Pittsburgh. In Cincinnati, pouring rain most of the week. In Cleveland, snow on Wednesday, snow following Monday. The reason I say that is this. Major League Baseball has to figure out a way, if they want to start the season a week early, to give more rest days over the season, to open in more southern cities. You have to stop expecting to have an opening day in Detroit and Chicago and Cincinnati where you don't have domes in March. It doesn't work. Because when I was in college, I remember in 2003 there was an opening day between the Orioles and the White Sox, I think it was, and it snowed. And the snowflakes were so big that you lost the baseball when it was hitting the air. Ellis Burks, who played for the Rockies for a while, also played for the White Sox, hit a fly ball down the line. And I forgot who the Orioles outfielder was, but he lost the ball in the snow. He couldn't find it. And when it landed, luckily it didn't hit him. It landed, he threw it back in, and they finally called a snow delay. That should not happen.
No, football should be played in the snow.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Now, if a snow game happens in the playoffs, that's a different story. It's the end of October, beginning of November. I can stomach that a little bit. Not in April. You have to find a way to schedule these games, and Miami has a dome. Play games.
They want to keep open.
Tampa has a dome. But in April, it's not the rainy season yet. Play the games in Miami with the open dome. Play in Tampa. Play in Houston. Play in Texas, play in San Diego. You have all these cities you could easily schedule the first couple weeks of games in.
For sure.
Now, does that mean that some teams get a unfair advantage maybe for a couple weeks? Yes, but baseball is 162 games. If you get a couple unfair games here or there, it all comes out in the wash in the end. But that's my best memory, was watching baseball in the snow.
You got one, Joe?
I don't have one on the top of my head, but I do want to add to baseball in the snow. Playing baseball while it's snowing is like playing golf in the snow. I just don't see it happening.
It's too hard.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
My favorite opening day story, I've never been to an opening day game, but I remember 2012, after the Marlins spent a boatload of money on the Jose Reyes of the world, the Mark Burleys of the world, and Mr. Heath Bell, who could not save anything. But anyway, it was the first game of the season. 2012, they opened the new ballpark in Little Havana. It was on ESPN, nationally televised. They ended up losing the game, of course, but it was cool.
Ozzie Guillen,
who made that great comment. He didn't even last more than a year.
No.
Funny story, I had an Ozzie Guillen shirt, and then he made the Castro comments, and my mom freaked out at me. She said, "You return that fucking shirt right now. You go to school in South Florida, and you're going to get hurt. Don't wear that shirt."
I like that.
But yeah, it was a cool day for the Marlins, even though they lost. And unfortunately, that stadium is not being filled up. But hopefully Jeter turns it around and we get some attendance there, some winning baseball for the fans down here. Aaron, you got any opening day stories? You must have some.
I don't have any opening day stories, but I have gone to a handful of Red Sox games, and not just Red Sox games. I've been to Camden Yards, everywhere, New York. But one of my best memories, I guess, has to be when I was picked to be the wall boy at the Green Monster wall boy at Fenway Park.
That's sick.
What that entails is, well, I was like 6 years old, decked out head to toe in Red Sox gear. Probably one of the hottest girls I've ever seen comes up to me.
You must have been a cute kid.
Oh, I was absolutely adorable. But that's besides the point. I mean, actually, I could have contributed to a lot, but the deal was if anyone hit a ball off of the Green Monster, I would get a prize. No one hit a ball off the Green Monster that whole game. I would go down to say that is the only game I think I've ever seen a ball not go off of the Green Monster.
You know what you should do? You should text the hot girl. You should get in touch with the hot girl. I didn't get that ball when I was 6. Can I get another prize now? I'm still upset by that, and it's still hurting me. You deserve that prize. You were a 6-year-old kid. They can't leave you hanging.
No, I got Wally's autograph, so it was all good.
Who's Wally? I'm not a
You don't know Wally?
Is that the mascot?
Yeah, Wally.
It's that green, that weird green fucking thing that runs around the stadium. It has absolutely nothing to do with red or sock.
Wait. If we want to go there, we can talk about the Phillies then, too.
Well, that one's also awful because it has nothing to do with being Philly.
The Marlins?
The Marlins, too.
Billy the Marlin?
But at least it's a Marlin.
It's a Marlin, yeah.
I mean, the Oriole bird, if you ever gotten close to the Oriole bird, it tweets. It literally whistles.
Did you see the story with the Mets mascot, Mr. Met, that flicked off a fan, even though he only has 4 fingers?
That was definitely, a little bit, woof.
So, something that goes on at baseball games, a lot of dancing, a lot of fun and entertainment. There's been a lot of dance fads going on throughout the world. The Harlem Shake, the Dab, the Gangnam Style, Soulja Boy, the Macarena. Do you guys find these as entertaining, as funny as I do, or do you think they're kind of stupid and a waste of everybody's time, like some people do?
I think they're funny, but once the song's been released after 2 or 3 months, it just gets old. It just gets repetitive. Like the YMCA, I think never gets old. But remember the Harlem Shake? How big that was? I mean,
dude,
come on.
The Miami Heat actually did a video in their locker room. All the players dressed up, and LeBron was a king up front by the camera. It was really funny.
But you never see the Harlem Shake anywhere anymore. You don't hear.
I was going to bring that up. It's very interesting. All these songs that come out, the Harlem Shake, the Gangnam Style, Soulja Boy, these artists are one-hit wonders. You never hear a damn thing from these fucks for the rest of their careers. They have one song, they make all their money, and they're done. It's very frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
Be more creative. Have a second song that people could enjoy.
Can't touch this.
Can't touch this.
I spend a lot of my time with high school kids, and some of the dances they talk about, or some of the music they talk about today, is just god awful.
Horrible.
It is god awful.
You have any examples?
Anything involving Migos. I don't even know. I thought
anything with Lil in the front of it.
Little.
Yeah, they can't even spell little right.
I thought Migos was a Greek dish involving olive leaves and lamb.
Sounds better than the
I literally that Kendrick Lamar is terrible. I'm not a big Kendrick Lamar fan. I think his lyrics are just I'm not a fan. I don't really have that much of a problem with Jay-Z. I think he can be entertaining. I think Beyonce in small dosages is okay. I think she's a beautiful woman. I think she's a little bit too much of a diva. I can't stand.
That's her style, though.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Okay.
I don't like that. Well, who's the guy that they all talk about? Oh, what you call it? Black. Kodak Black. Kodak Black. That guy's terrible.
I can't stand him.
XXX Temptation. Some of my kids talk about him all the time. He's terrible. This little pump guy who did the Gucci Gang song. By the way, my son loves Gucci Gang, but he has his own words to it. Instead of Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang, got 10 G's on a cocaine or whatever the lyrics are, his lyrics are Gucci Gang, got that goo. Like he made up his own lyrics, so he's 3.5. You
Sounds like
expect
what the
that.
rappers are doing. I feel like
Well,
they're good at words as they're
better
going.
than the rappers to me. I don't know.
I mean, I honestly cannot stand Future. I don't know what the hell he's saying.
Well, you can't hear what he's saying.
Exactly.
But that goes for all mumble rappers and rappers in general. I saw actually a tweet from P. Diddy put out the other day. Whatever happened back in the day, we actually used to rap. Now these kids are popping Xanax like candy and, making up words that don't rhyme with each other.
You want to hear the next 15 hip-hop songs that come out? They sound like this. That's what it sounds like over and over again. I can't do it. I can't. Give me something with creativity. Dre, with sample in the background. Give me some of that stuff. I'll roll with it. That stuff's good. But the stuff they do today is just god-awful.
Eminem, classic Eminem.
He's great.
Absolutely.
I'm okay with today Eminem. He's great. Because he has everybody used to make fun of Nicki Minaj. She's great. She has this entertaining feature about her. Missy Elliott, another example of someone who's got an entertaining feature about her. I like listening to her talk. I might not necessarily see the world the same way she does, but I like her art. But some of these dance crazes, the Harlem Shake, that was creepy. With the people with the horse masks and everything, that was weird.
It gave those of us with 2 left feet a chance to dance for once.
They look like zombies heading to a buffet of brains. It's strange.
Remember Bar Mitzvah years? The cha-cha slide, that was the big one.
I'm okay with that.
That's still around, though. That's going to be,
But
that's
the
around
Bar
100 years from now.
Electric slide, cha-cha slide, Cupid shuffle.
Good.
Those are my favorite dances because you can't fuck them up.
I'm okay with those.
Mess them up. They tell you what to do. Slide to the left. Slide to the right.
I don't know which way is up and right.
That's true.
When the Cupid Shuffle comes on, I am like Michael.
The Cuban Shuffle?
What?
I heard the Cuban Shuffle.
No, I said the Cupid Shuffle.
Oh, okay.
The Cuban Shuffle's at Marlon's
I thought
Bar.
Mark Cuban was going to come out and start singing the Cuban Shuffle.
When that song comes on, I am like Michael Jackson on the dance floor. I get into it, man.
Guess that's the only way you want to be Michael Jackson on the dance floor.
Oh,
No.
God.
Well, going with the changes in music, what about these changes that we're seeing with these companies like Disney? The latest thing I've seen come out is the new Han Solo poster. Han Solo doesn't have his blaster.
That's
I know
crazy.
Joe feels very strongly about this.
This really grinds my gears because Han Solo is known for his blaster. I mean, was it DL-42 or something?
That's all on you.
Yeah, I guess so. But anyway, you know him with that Western pose, him reaching for his blaster or him having his blaster pointed out, ready to aim. He always shoots first. And Disney is slowly taking, all of those iconic things away because what's the right way to put it?
They're fucking social justice warriors.
Bingo.
I didn't want to go there, but yes.
I'll go there because that's what they are. And I wish they'd say that's what they are. Wish they would be honest, honest. By the way, you're right. It was the DL-44, and it was modeled after a German semi-automatic pistol called the Mauser C96. It actually looks a lot like one of the Saturday night specials the Nazis used. So I could see where someone could say it looks like a gun, but it's not a gun. It's a laser. It's in a movie. It goes pew, pew, pew. Yeah. All right? It hits things in movies, not in real life.
Well, these people are very sensitive.
Exactly.
The thing is, the movie Solo, A Star Wars Story, it's a science fiction fantasy story. It's a movie.
Exactly.
A Hollywood movie. Why do they have to take away...
Because people think what happens in a Hollywood movie is what's going to happen in real life. It's sad, but that's what people think.
Yeah, but also in the poster, he's reaching for his blaster. There's no blaster in his holster.
And I want to be very clear about something. I use the term social justice warrior, and people think that that's a pejorative term. It's not meant to insult people, but it is what it is. You're talking about issues that are involving people's social justice, and you're a warrior for it. I hate when people act like that term. I'm trying to insult people using that term. But that's what you are. That's exactly what you... take pride in the fact that you care about that. And I have no issue with people that look out for those that need extra or extra attention. Or I think everybody deserves an equal starting point in this world. But when we're that soft, when we go that much to the side, it bothers me because it's just not being realistic anymore.
Again, and in Chewbacca's poster, he's missing his famous bowcaster rifle.
Exactly, his crossbow. How do you take the crossbow away from Chewbacca?
I don't know.
No, as much as we can argue about this, I feel like, let's give Disney some solutions here. My solution, rather than changing a major character design that's been around for, 40 years now, Han Solo made his first appearance May 5th in A New Hope, first Star Wars movie that came out in 1977. So you're talking about, here we are 41 years later now, and they want to take away that blaster now. I say change the rating to an R rating if they can't, if they don't want the children to see it.
Yeah, very good idea. But secondly, I know there's a lot of things going on in this world, but movies are made for people to escape. You know, just escape their daily lives, enjoy themselves. I mean, by doing something like this, taking away a blaster on a poster, it's changing the game. It's not becoming an escape anymore.
Some people can't take what they saw at the movie theater and just enjoy it. They bring it into their real life. What if this happened to me? What if this happened to my friend? It's not. It's a movie. And people get so nervous and so uptight about these things. They just need to have fun and let loose for a little bit.
Exactly. I just hope this isn't an ongoing issue.
However, I will say, Fat Patty over here sometimes likes to sit in the chair and try to use his Jedi powers to make the chips come from the kitchen to him. I haven't quite been able to perfect that move. It's usually asking my wife to bring it to me, but I've not been able to pull it. I'm trying to.
That'd be great for football season.
Oh, God, yes. God, yes.
Well, with the Dolphins, they need vodka and tequila.
Yes, you need to pull something, man.
Yeah.
That's the perfect way to use the Force, man.
I would, just to make stuff float. I would love to make stuff float.
Jedi mind tricks.
Totally.
You know, if I could float anywhere, I would float past those long lines at the theme parks in Orlando.
Oh, boy.
You make lines at the theme parks. Pat, you were just in Disney with your family. How was that trip? How were the lines?
If you do it right, they're not bad. If you do it right and you plan it out, they're not bad. But it's hard to plan that stuff out. It's hard to, the different parks give you different ways to skip lines, but there's no perfect solution to it. I will tell you, I did my usual. I ate a turkey leg. I ate way too much popcorn. That's the problem with going to the parks. In 3 days, my wife and I walked 22 miles. So you walk a lot. Heavily, probably down in those 3 days, probably close to 15,000 calories. Mm-hmm. So you might burn a lot of calories, but you just put them right back in your body, so you get no benefit out of it.
Had a turkey leg?
The turkey, I don't believe that they're turkey. Someone has told me that they're ostrich.
And there has to be. Those things are huge.
They're very big, and I haven't seen very many turkeys that are that big. So I could believe it. If that's true, I would not be shocked by it.
They look very greasy.
I will tell you, they are greasy. The skin is almost inedible, but the meat itself is really good. If you like dark meat turkey, really good.
Now, do people eat the turkey legs because they like the taste of it? They just do it because, I'm at a theme park. Let me get a turkey
I think it's like a churro. I don't know that anybody wants to dip cinnamon sugar in chocolate, but for some people,
churros are delicious. Eating an ostrich doesn't sound
churros are
labeled as a turkey.
Fair enough.
Churros are, but the whole experience of taking the paper wrapper, opening up the chocolate, dipping the churro, getting it all over your shirt, that to me feels like a theme park thing. It doesn't seem like something I do in my house. No. I'm not going to the Publix and buying a turkey leg and roasting it in the oven.
How would you feel if you just saw a random guy like in Costco eating a giant turkey leg while shopping?
I would call special services or whatever. I would get him picked up. He needs a straitjacket. That's weird.
I wonder how much it would be to get like an ostrich like grilling thing. Like, yeah, how much are those grills that they have? Have you ever seen how many they put on those things?
I have not. I know each turkey leg is like, what, $10 a leg?
Well, yeah, they throw $200 on there. They're making $2,000. The easiest way possible.
So if you'd like to know, a pound of ground ostrich meat is $42.95.
That's a lot of ostrich and a lot of money for ostrich.
And just to give them credit, that is
quality meat then,
that is a random search on the internet. There is now for a ostrich breast, it looks like.
Well, it could be mixed with some other birds. Maybe.
This is an ostrich. This is a ostrich sirloin. This is $97.58 for a 2-pound piece. So there is a marketplace for that kind of food. I had some guy when we were at Epcot come up to me and say, so I was eating, they have this food and wine festival in the fall. They have a lawn and garden festival in the spring. So my wife and I go twice for both of those. So we were at the park and I was eating these little steak medallions from Canada. And he's like, "Oh, those look good." I'm like, "Yeah." He had this Penguins hat on. I knew he was from Pittsburgh. He's like, "Oh, I'm from Pittsburgh." I was excited to come there because I got a chance to eat gator. And I was like, "I've had gator once. It's okay. I don't think it's all that amazing, you know." He's like, "Oh, gator's the best, man. You got to eat it all sorts of ways." And he sounded like Forrest Gump. You know, I eat a barbecue shrimp and shrimp fried and shrimp. You know, I eat boiled gator, grilled gator, fried gator. That was weird. So Universal and Disney, they're both cool for all sorts of ages. Cool for adults, cool for teens, cool for kids. Kids, though, are losing a big time experience that we all had when we were younger. Now, I'm about 15 years older than most of you guys, but I had Toys R Us. You guys had Toys R Us. Our kids today are not going to have Toys R Us. My son's 3.5 years old, and everything we buy from him has been online pretty much his whole life anyways. Toys R Us is going out of business.
Sad.
And that's a bummer, but it's an indication of something that's to come. I think that this is like Circuit City. When Circuit City closed, this is now an example of all these stores that are now going to start to close en masse because no one goes to them anymore. Office Depots, and I go to Office Depot, they're usually empty. When you go into a Target, unless it's a busier area, they're not packed. A lot of these stores make more money in online retailing than they do anywhere else because what don't you have to do when you have online retailing? You don't have to pay staff. You don't have to pay the air conditioning bill.
For the people who are going, you don't have to wait in line.
Exactly. There's no line. Now you lose the ability to try stuff on. That's true. You lose the ability to play with stuff.
Yeah, I like going into the store. One, it gives me something to do. If I'm bored, I get to go into a store, walk around. I like trying stuff on. I like feeling what I'm getting to see if it's comfortable. You could see a picture of a shirt online, and it might be the most uncomfortable shirt you've ever worn in your entire life, and you have no way of knowing until it arrives in your door and you put it on. That's why I like going into a store.
I see the benefits of shopping online because you're shopping from the comfort of your own home. I don't mind buying electronics online, sneakers. But when it comes to like shirts, pants, I need to be in the store and buy it. I need to feel it, smell it, get comfortable with it.
You smell it?
Yeah.
You're smelling a fucking shirt for it.
Hey, man. If it smells good,
each their own, Joe
I didn't expect to hear that.
Joe just likes to sniff things.
For me, if I'm going to be buying something like a piece of clothing online, I'm actually going to go to the store first, try it on, see what the price is in the store, and then do a price check on Amazon before I check out. If the price is going to be, a difference of $5 or whatever, then I'll just pay for it in the store. But if we're looking, like a $10, $15 difference, then I'm going to make sure that the item fits. Then go and order it online for cheaper. Wait the extra 2 days for it to come in. I'm a busy guy. I can wait. I don't need it right away, unless it is something that I need right away.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
I do the same thing you do. With shoes, especially with basketball shoes.
Oh, yeah.
I'll go try on shoes all the time, and I'll see which ones I like, and then I'll order them on Amazon or on Final Score or something.
That I can get behind.
Yeah. I'll try them on in the store, and then I'll buy them somewhere else.
Sunglasses. What do you guys think?
I'll buy them online. I buy them online because I don't spend more than $40 on a pair of sunglasses. So if I buy a $40 pair of sunglasses that suck, all right, I'll wear them when I'm going to beat them up. And then if I buy another pair that I really like, I'll only wear them in the car or whatever else.
Like Aaron said, I would rather go to the store, try them on, and then buy it online off Amazon.
Do you smell your sunglasses too?
Definitely. It's got to smell like the beach.
Now, I don't want to be equally as creepy as smelling clothes in a store, but I do like the smell of new electronics.
Ooh.
There definitely is it's like a plasticky, metally goodness that you smell and you're like, wow, this is really neat. This is going to be really awesome. And a certain feel, like I had my phone replaced recently, like the feel of the screen that has not been touched.
Yeah.
I was kidding around, but no, honestly, the smell of the electronics is definitely something that does get you kind of excited for. And that's why, and I say that because Toys R Us closing, I'm telling you the next company that's going to close its doors is going to be Best Buy. I promise you Best Buy. Best Buy now, if you run into a Best Buy, half it's mobile phones. Yeah. Half the store is freaking mobile phones. And at the malls, like at Boca, they have a Best Buy mobile store. A lot of malls now have Best Buy mobile. So they know that they need to diversify their business in a way that you're focusing only on mobile phones.
As long as the phone stores stay in business and computer stores, I have no idea how to work any of that stuff, so I need those tech geeks to figure it out for me.
Speaking of these stores, though, Tesla, Elon Musk, one of the biggest ways that he's changing the auto industry is the way he's selling his cars. He sells his cars in independent stores in a mall.
Yep.
And there's no bargaining. The price is the price, you know? And that's just the way that it's turning into now. But
companies have done that for a while, though. There are car sellers that have sold cars without negotiating prices. However, they're not as nice as a Tesla.
Right. And Elon Musk is releasing that new Tesla vehicle, which is a sedan. It's going to be priced roughly around $35,000.
Model 3.
Exactly. So we're going to be seeing a lot more Teslas on the road than we are now.
We're in Boca. We already see, I think the most Model S's outside of California. Mm-hmm. But you got to look at the other things, too, that Elon Musk is doing, not only to benefit the auto industry, the business industry. He's trying to take the U.S. Into space again. And not only the U.S., the entire world. He's trying to propel the world into a safe, new technological future, and that's what I love about that man.
Elon Musk is brilliant. He's also selling solar panels to be placed in your home, so you could have clean energy.
It's awesome stuff.
No, he really is. He's a big innovator when it comes to just about everything, whether it's technological or business perspective.
It's impressive that someone could think of all this stuff and it just gets out there.
The only thing I know about Elon Musk is he did a guest appearance on The Simpsons, and he was hysterical.
He is probably one of the funniest guys.
Yeah, that was funny.
Doesn't try to be funny.
That was really funny when he was on there. It bothered me that when I taught my kids in school about Nikola Tesla, they all said, "Oh, the electric car guy," and not having any clue that Nikola Tesla was actually Thomas Edison's assistant, and they worked on a lot of things together. And the biggest difference between Edison and Tesla was Edison believed in a direct line of current, and Tesla believed in an alternating line of current. And today we actually use more alternating lines of current. But the funny thing is that kids today didn't know that Nikola Tesla was actually a person. They thought that it was just a car, that I was talking about an electric car at first. And I had to explain to them, no, he was a Serbian immigrant that came to the United States and worked on early electronics with Thomas Edison.
I think it's amazing you even have a full head of hair dealing with high school kids every day.
I
think that's amazing.
You learn that they have their own world, and if you find a way into their world, you actually enjoy it a lot. I'll tell you, ever since I changed careers and I became a teacher, I have not worked a day.
I'm surprised I still have a full head of hair after dealing with these drivers in South Florida.
They're awful.
Awful.
My God.
They're awful.
I was driving down, I forgot what road it was. I'm getting out of a parking lot going down the street. This woman's coming right into my car. I'm like, what are you doing? I start honking at her. She goes, oh, I'm sorry. I'm on the wrong side of the road. I didn't know I was going here. I'm like, it's okay. Just get back on the other side so I don't die today. Thank you.
I feel like a lot of the drivers down here, they want to get into an accident. They want to get that claim.
I don't know if they want to go in an accident. I will tell you that there's a lot of fraud. I completely believe there's a lot of fraud in that industry, but I don't know that they're looking to crash. They want the money without getting hurt.
The fact that insurance companies just, especially after an accident, after a big ticket, they destroy you. They take every cent from you that they can. I don't agree with that at all, and that's really where most of that comes from.
Absolutely.
Well, it also hurts with your guys' age. When you become older like me, if you have a claim here or there, it doesn't affect you as much. You get a speeding ticket here or there, it doesn't affect you as terribly. But when you're younger and you have those claims is when it really screws you up.
Talk about nearly 100% increase in your policy. I've seen in some cases, but
I just think the driving age is just too young in general. The kids should be behind a wheel at 15 years old. They're so immature and not ready to be driving a vehicle. But that's just my opinion.
Well, Anyway, I think that does it for us here today.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. Out of all the podcast shows out there, thank you for choosing You Name It, We Say It as your direct source for sports, business, and entertainment news. Just stick with us. We're going to get better each time we come out and do this show. So we're going to have fun, and we hope you have fun with us, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, Felicia.
Peace in the Middle East.
Stay golden.